Hello everyone. In this video, let's discuss how to insert an element at the end of a doubly linked list. Okay. So I'll initialize the value of head as null. So if head is equal to null, it states that my linked list is empty. Fine. Now, first I have to create a node. So here node consists of three parts: data part, previous and next. So previous will contain the address of the previous node. Next will contain the address of the next node. So first I'll create a node. After creating a node, I have to initialize the value. I have initialized the value. Data is 10, previous is null and next also null. Now I want to insert this element at the end of a linked list. So I have to check a condition. If head is equal to null. If head is equal to null, it states that my linked list is empty. If it is empty, the node which I have created is my first node. So I'll take the new node address that I'll be storing in the head. So first I have to check the condition that whether my head is equal to null. Yes, my head is equal to null. If head is equal to null, what should I do? I have to take the new node address 2000 that should be stored in head. So the link will be created. Head contains the address of the first node. Now let me try to insert one more element in my linked list. So first what should I do? I have to create a node. After creating a node, I have to initialize the value. Now I have to insert this node at the end of my linked list. So I have to traverse till the last node of my linked list. Okay. So here I'll take an object called temp. Okay. If temp.next not equal to null, it states that we are not in the last node. So here check the condition. Temp is pointing to the memory location called 2000. Temp.next is null. Null not equal to null, condition becomes false, which means that this is the last node of my linked list. So condition becomes false. Now I'll take the new node address 3000 that will be stored in temp.next, which means the link will be created to move in the forward direction. Now we have to move in the backward direction also, because doubly linked list can move in forward direction as well as in backward direction. So in the new nodes previous part, what will I store? In the sense, I'll store the value of temp. What is the value of temp? 2000. So 2000 will be taken and that will be stored in new nodes previous, so that it can move in backward direction as well. Head contains address of the first node 2000. Data is 10. Next node is 3000. In this node, data is 20. So next node is null, which means this is the last node, and the previous node is 2000. I can go to the previous node 2000. So here I cannot go to the previous node because this is my first node, so I have initialized the value as null. Fine. Let me try to insert one more element so that we will get a clear picture on inserting element at the end of a linked list. So what should I do? First I have to create a node. Done. Initialize the value. Done. Now I have to reach the last node of my linked list. So I'll take an object called temp. I'll start traversing from the first node onwards. Here I'll check a condition. Until the condition becomes false, I'll be repeating the loop again and again. The condition is temp.next. So temp is pointing to the memory location equal 2000. Temp.next is 3000. Temp.next not equal to null. If temp.next is not equal to null, we have not reached the last node of my linked list. So here temp.next is 3000, that is not equal to next. So go to the next node, that is temp equal to temp.next. I'll go to the next node. Check the condition. Temp is pointing to 3000. Temp.next is null. So temp.next not equal to null, condition becomes false, which means we have reached the last element of my linked list. So what should I do? Now I have to create a link in the forward direction as well as backward direction. So to create a link in the forward direction, in the temp.next, I have to store the new node address. New node address is 4000. That will be stored in temp.next. So the link will be created for forward direction. Now I have to create for backward direction. So for new nodes previous, I have to store the temp value. So temp value is 3000. That will be stored in new nodes previous. So the link will be created for the backward direction. This is the logic to insert the element at the end of a doubly linked list. Now let's go for the implementation of the program. Okay. So I'll give import java.util.star class main public static void main string args. Okay. So I'll create an object for the scanner class to get the input value from the user. New scanner system.in. Okay. Now what I have to do? First I have to create a node. So let me define the node. Node consists of three parts: int data, previous node's address, next node address. Done. Fine. I'll give node head is equal to null. So here I have created a node. So node head is equal to null. Done. Now let me get the size of the linked list. Int n equal to sc dot next int. So let's assume size is 3. I have to take a loop. I have to start the iteration from 1 onwards. I equal to 1, I less than or equal to n, I plus plus. So here what I'll do? I'll get the value from the user. Int value I'll give equal to sc dot next int. I've got the value from the user that I'm going to insert in my linked list. So head is equal to insert end. I'm going to pass two arguments, head and the value which I'm going to insert in my linked list. Fine. I have called a method. Let me define the method. Public static. So here instead of void I'll give node because we are going to return the address. So node insert end. I have passed two arguments, node head, another one is int value. Okay. So here first what should I do? I have to create a node. Node new node is equal to new node. I have created a node. So let me create a node. Done. After creating a node, I have to initialize the value. So I'll pass the value as a constructor and let me define the constructor. Node int value. So let me initialize the value for all the three parts. Data is equal to value, previous equal to null, next also equal to null. Fine. So I have created a node. I have initialized the values. I have created a node. I have to initialize the value. Now I have to check whether my head is equal to null. If head is equal to null, what should I do? I have to take the new node address 2000 that should be stored in head. So let me write the program for this. If head equal to null. If head is equal to null, what is the meaning? Linked list is empty. So I'll take the new node address that will be stored in head. Then I'll return head. That's all. I have inserted the element. Here head is equal to null. So I'll take the new node address that I'll be storing it in head. So link will be created. That's all. Now I'll come back to the for loop. So earlier value of I is equal to 1. Now I value is equal to 2. Let's assume I have inserted 10. Now I'm going to insert the value called 20. I've called the method insert end. I'll go to insert end method. First I have to create a node. Okay, I have created a node. After creating a node, I have to initialize the value with the help of constructor. I've initialized the value. Fine. Now check the condition head equal to null. The value of head is 2000. That is not equal to null. So I'll not go inside the if condition. What I'll be doing, I'll go to else part. I have to take an object called temp and I have to start my traversal from the first node onwards to reach the last node. So node temp is equal to head. I'll take an object called temp. I'll initialize the value of head because I have to start my traversal from the first node onwards. Okay. Now I have to take a loop and I have to check a condition saying that whether I have reached my last node or not. Why am I taking a loop? Because I have to traverse. So while temp.next not equal to null. So if temp.next is not equal to null, I have not reached my last node. So here check the condition. Temp is pointing to the memory location called 2000. Temp.next is null. Null not equal to null. Condition is false. If the condition is false, I have reached my last node. If the condition is false, I have reached my last node. If I have reached my last node, what should I do? I have to create a forward link. To create a forward link, new node address should be taken. That should be stored in temp.next. So temp.next is equal to new node. Fine, I have created a forward link. Now I have to create the backward link. So in the new node's previous, I have to store the temp value. 2000 will be taken. That will be stored in the new node's previous. So that I have created the backward link. So new node dot previous equal to temp. That's all. This is how I have to insert the element at the end of a linked list. After this, what happened? I have to return head. Fine. Let me go back to the for loop. I value becomes 3. I will be getting the value called 30. So let me call the method once again. I'll call the method. First step, what should I do? I have to create a node. Let me create a node. Done. Initialize the value with the help of constructor. That is also done. Now check the condition whether head is equal to null. Head is having the value called 2000, head is not equal to null. Condition becomes false. So I'll go to the else part. Done. I'll go to the else part. Now I'll take an object called temp. I'll initialize the value of head. The value of head is 2000. I'll initialize the value to the temp. So temp is pointing to the first node called 2000. Fine. Now check the condition. Temp.next not equal to null. Temp is pointing to 2000. Temp.next is 3000. 3000 not equal to null? Yes, 3000 is not equal to null, which means I have not reached my last node. I'll go inside the while loop and then I have to go to the next node. How can I go to the next node? Temp equal to temp.next. Temp equal to temp.next. So temp is pointing to 2000. Temp.next is 3000. 3000 will be pointed by temp. So temp is pointing to the memory location called 3000. Then go to the loop again. Temp.next not equal to null. Temp is 3000. Temp.next is null. Null not equal to null. Condition becomes false. I'll come out of this while loop. After coming out of while loop, what should I do? I have to create a forward link and the backward link. So forward link is in temp.next I have to store 4000. So temp.next I have to store the new node address 4000. Next, in the new node's previous I have to store the temp value. In the new node's previous I have to store the temp value. So that I have to do the backward link also. And then I have to return the value called head. So I'll come back to this place. Okay, so we have inserted the element. Now let me print the linked list. So I'll call a method called print list. I'll pass head. So let me define the method called print list. Public static void print list. Not head. Okay, this is my linked list. Now I want to print my linked list. Okay. So first I'll create an object called temp. I'll initialize the value as head. The value of it is 2000. So temp will be pointing to the memory location called 2000. So I'll take a loop while temp not equal to null. If temp is not equal to null, I'm standing on some node. If temp is equal to null, we have reached the last node of my linked list. So here temp is pointing to the memory location called 2000. 2000 not equal to null. Yes, because it is pointing to the first node. If that is the case, I have to print the data of that particular node. So I'll give system.out.print data. So temp.data. I'll give a space. After printing the data, I have to go to the next node. So to go to the next node, I'll give temp equal to temp.next. That's all. So now after printing the data at 10, I have to go to the next node. So next node is temp.next. 3000 is pointed by temp. Now check the condition. Temp not equal to null. Yes, temp is pointing to the memory location called 3000. That is not equal to null. So I'll go inside. I'll print the data. Temp.data. So temp.data is 20. 20 will be printed. After printing 20, I have to go to the next node. So temp equal to temp.next. Temp.next is 4000. So 4000 I'll go. So check the condition. Temp not equal to null. Yes, temp is not equal to null. So I'll go inside the while loop and then I'll print the data. So temp.data is 30. 30 will be printed. After printing 30, I have to go to the next node. Temp equal to temp.next. Temp.next is null. So now temp is pointing to the memory location called null. So check the condition. Null not equal to null. Condition becomes false. I'll come out of the while loop. This is how I have to insert the element at the end of a linked list. Now let me run the code. Okay, there is an error. We'll check what is an error. Okay, I am not doing semicolon here. That is error. Fine. Let me save this and let me run the code once again. Yes. We have to give the input value. I'll give the size of the linked list as 3. The elements are 10, 20, 30. See, 10, 20, 30. I'm storing these 3 elements in a doubly linked list and the element are inserted at the end. See, first I have inserted 10, then 20, then 30. The elements are inserted at the end of a linked list. That's all.